I have a neighbor who needs to sell his home, except there's a problem. He can't. And the reason is something every homeowner needs to know before it's too late. I'm Janice Allen, a Realtor serving the greater Kalamazoo area of Southwest Michigan. And I want to share his story because it's a really powerful reminder that planning for your future is also protecting yourself while you're still living. So if you're still kicking, you need to hear this. So I have an elderly neighbor who has lived in his home with his wife for 40 years. And sadly, his wife is now in hospice and has dementia. She's no longer mentally competent to sign legal documents. And here's where things get complicated. Their home is in both of their names. They don't have a power of attorney in place for her, and they don't have a trust. Because she can no longer sign legal documents, he simply can't decide to sell the house on his own. Now they have to determine what legal options may be available, if any. And what's really sad is that he needs to move into an apartment because he's having trouble making payments and the upkeep is too much. But selling the house isn't as simple as calling me and putting it on the market because there's another layer to his situation. He has PACE benefits, which is a program that helps qualifying older adults receive medical care and other support while continuing to live in the community. Because his PACE benefits are tied to Medicaid eligibility, what happens with the house and the proceeds from the sale could potentially affect his finances and his eligibility for benefits. Making the wrong decision could affect the benefits and assistance he depends on. So when he asked me to sell his house, my advice wasn't, let's get it listed. My advice was, before we do anything, you need to talk with an attorney who understands estate planning and Medicaid. Because at this point, there isn't just a real estate transaction. It's an estate planning issue, it's a Medicaid issue, and it's about protecting an elderly couple and the resources they may need for the rest of their lives. That's why I tell people, don't wait for a crisis to get your affairs in order. Talk with an attorney about whether you need a durable power of attorney, a trust, or other estate planning documents, and make sure you understand how your home is titled and who would have the authority to handle it if you couldn't. Because here's the important part. A power of attorney is something you put in place while you still have mental capacity to make that decision. And depending on your circumstances, a properly structured trust may also make it easier for someone you choose to manage certain assets if you become incapacitated. You may never need those documents, but if the day comes when you do, it may be too late to create them. And unfortunately, I'm watching someone deal with that reality right now. So if you own a home, especially if you're elderly, caring for a spouse, or thinking about downsizing, don't just have a plan where you're going, have a plan for how you're going to get there. Talk with your estate planning attorney and your tax professional, your financial professional before there's a crisis. Because sometimes the most important part of selling a home happens long before the for sale sign ever goes in the yard. If you need help getting started, I created a free document called Before You Need It, a homeowner's planning checklist. And it won't replace an attorney, and it's not meant to. It's simply a list of things every homeowner should know, organize, and talk about with their family before there's a crisis. Send me an email at janice@michiganhomegirl.com and put plan in the subject line, and I'll send you a copy, or reach out to me direct.